So we're back. Session 33, I think, of Fever Swamp. Um, so last time, after your exciting adventures with the fallen Black Dragon, and speaking to Grandfather Rot, face to nose, you have successfully returned to the village of Clink. Um, Off recording, all the calculations were done to do gold and XP, and some of you were able to level up. So, Ixa, I know you've hit level 5. What new things did you gain? How awesome are you now?
Extra attack for one thing, which is
That's
really
pretty
useful.
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and level 2 spell slots. Got 2 of those. So the spells that I had her prepare as aid, which, if I remember correctly, gives 5 bonus HP, which is not temporary HP, I don't think, for 8 hours to 3 people. And magic weapon, which converts any weapon into a +1 magic weapon for I think an hour.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah. That's good. And Kildrak, you also hit level 5.
Yeah. I actually got a few things. My Bardic Inspiration is D8 now.
That's so nice.
Yeah. And it also I regain all uses of it after every short or long rest,
Which is
which
really
is
nice.
even better. And I get level 3 spells, one of them. Which I decided to go with Hypnotic Pattern, which charms creatures within a 30-foot cube.
Nice.
And I'm swapping out a level 2 spell that I have literally never used. Like I told you before the recording, I have Shatter in here, although I am very much leaning towards going with Invisibility instead, real quick.
All right.
I think that'll be generally maybe more valuable.
All right. You could think on that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So, Khan is not joining us today. They are tied up with far too much homework. So no Silas right now.
I shouldn't be here, but I am.
Yes, understood. So, as you're all getting your stuff together in Clink, the day after you've returned, Gert comes to Lucas and says, "Oh my boy, it's been I must thank you again for finding me out there."
Think nothing of it. It's been an honor to meet you. I can't believe I'm meeting the Gert von Hammer. Fantastic.
Yes.
The Empire will have missed you.
Indeed. Once I will be taking my leave now, and I have a long trip back to Nilfenberg. When I arrive there, though, I will put in a request from the Empire to compensate your party for this. I assume that sending a suitable reward to here to Clink will be sufficient.
Oh, absolutely. Trouble yourself not over it too much. The state of our finances are improving, though I think some of our warriors did speak of heavier armor.
Well,
frankly, by the time whatever you send arrives, we will have either dealt with the corpse pile or, make arrangements for that eventuality.
By the way, you've been taking my debt that I've been paying and splitting it up between the rest of the party, right?
Nope.
Oh, well, take...
How much have you paid?
About... At this point, about 350 of it.
Oh, we'll add another 58 gold.
Wouldn't that be divided by 5 because not Bort?
Oh, yes. 70 gold.
I've got less than 150 left, so
Mm-hmm.
soon.
So 70 gold for everyone who isn't Bort.
Do we get his experience?
No.
Does anyone else need a loan before we go? Because, to be frank, I don't think I'm going to be inscribing any of Jasmine's spells in the near future. They're good spells, but I kind of need all the spells I have prepared. I wouldn't unprepare any of these right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. You spend your day selling all of your loot, getting heads taxidermied, haggling with Eliwick's father, Eliwick fussing over Filsticker's arm, wanting to know how it's holding up, and if it's still working right, and Kildrak's new girlfriend is there and still, and she's getting ready to.
We're definitely drunk, at least
Yes.
part of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and she's there, and spending time with Kildrak. Although she knows she has to get back on the road soon, she's seems to be putting it off in order to spend more time with him. But yeah, does you all get a long rest in Clink so you can fill up your hit points and recover all of your abilities. And yeah. So does anyone have anything they want to do in Clink? Anyone they wanted to talk to? Anything like that?
Nothing here, I don't think.
Yeah, nothing springs to mind. Probably attend services from Father Nicholas once more before we go, but
Mm-hmm.
We hate these people.
Yes. Yes. So very well then.
Just real quick before we leave, I want to check if I am able to use crossbows or longbows. Within toughness. Come on, where is it? No. Okay, I don't. Sorry, I was gonna get a longer ranged weapon if I could, but
Hmm.
no, I can't.
You can't afford a longbow?
I can afford one, but I can't. As far as I don't have proficiency with it.
Oh right, because simple weapons and
Yeah.
stuff.
I get dwarven proficiency, which is a couple of hammers.
Right. And crossbows are martial weapons as well.
Yep. So it's either a light crossbow or a short bow, and they're the same range.
Right. That sucks.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well. Okay, so heading out into the Fever Swamp.
If we ever have the downtime for it, there's rules to train up new weapons proficiencies, so you could probably do that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Could certainly do that after
We accidentally destroy the universe.
right. Or don't destroy the universe. So okay. Oops, I didn't mean to click that button. I meant to click this button. Okay. So after having taken your long rest, the you're awoken to sounds of alarm from the village watch. As any of you brave enough to go out and see what the deal is, you see the corpse pile is on the horizon, due south. The militia is being called up. There's people shouting about undead, scattered undead near the edges of the village.
We should perhaps delay for a day and see if we can render any assistance to the militia. Does anyone mind?
That seems reasonable.
Suppose not.
Yeah, we definitely should help.
Helping sounds like a good plan. I think of everyone here, we are the most capable of defeating undead.
All right. So you run out to the docks on the edge of town, and Filsiker, you are standing right over where you know you left the protective sigil. And you see out into the swamp a grouping of skeletal warriors. You see a squad of 6 of them at the moment. They have bows in hand, and they're taking shots at the militia, who are firing back from watchtowers. The towers have the advantage of range, but the skeletons are hiding amongst some trees.
See. Well, I should obviously go fairy fire them, but I don't want to get that close.
Skellies and trees.
How far are they from where we can get to without really going out of town?
They're about 50 feet across some water.
Oh,
Guess we
okay,
should
perfect.
just start shooting at them.
Mm-hmm.
I fairy fire the area where they're standing, because that's within the range.
Okay.
The area within which they are hiding. That's what I mean.
Right. Yeah. So you fairy fire a handful of them, and and the militia are more able to hit their targets. The rest of you all ready crossbows and guns and attacking cantrips, and blow that first squad away in seconds. But the corpse pile is still looming on the horizon.
Can we tell which direction it's moving?
It's hard to tell. It's just moved into the hex. So
Okay.
Filster hops off of the side of the dock to see if the sigil's still intact.
the sigil is there, and it's in fact glowing just ever so slightly.
Okay, that's good. He climbs back up.
Everyone else, you just saw Filsticker jump into the water, look at something, and then come back up.
What is it, Phil Sticker? What did you see?
He whispers to Lucas, I placed a protective sigil down there several months ago, which I believe is going to keep the corpse pile from directly crushing the town.
That's lovely. Why didn't we build
It's
one
going.
in the other
It's
villages?
going. Right. Well, the corpse pile's over here right now, so...
Be that as it may, it might have been good to know that that was a thing that could be done. Might have opened
Well, I
a
don't know
variety
if
of
that's what
options.
it's doing, but it's active. I don't know that that's exactly what it was doing, but it was granted to me in a vision, so, you know. It's doing something. And the corpse pile's here. I think it's connected.
Not attracting it, is it?
No, it's been here for months.
I don't know to engaging the corpse pile directly. Even with fireball support, that might be unwise, but we should certainly stay here and see how close they come.
And we can help mop up the tag-along zombie swarm.
Yes, that does seem like something that we could assist with.
Yeah.
All right. So you spend the next 2 days with the militia. The corpse pile you have engagement after engagement with undead who have come loose from the corpse pile and make their way towards the village. I want everyone to roll a d20.
Just a straight D20?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Oh boy. Bort gets aborted.
I'm not seeing your
at
things.
least I don't get eaten by skeletons as bad as Bort does.
I guess I need to refresh the thing because it wasn't coming through. But I'm just gonna need you to tell me what you guys rolled.
Bort rolled a 1. Lucas and Kildrak both got 15s. Filsticker got a 5. Ixa got a 7.
Okay. Okay, so anyone who got less than a 5. Okay, well that's Bort. Bort, you got a 1. So Bort has a near-death experience. Sometime during the skirmishes. At some point, Bort dropped, but was saved. Who saved you?
That's a good question.
Or also, how did it happen? How was Bort nearly brought low?
Bort was on the parapet of the walls of Clink,
Mm-hmm.
and
We don't really have
with-
walls, but you might have been on a watchtower.
that'd work. I mean, they have palisades, right?
Not out in the not out, not really. No.
Right. He was on a watchtower, shooting things with his heavy crossbow, and then a bunch of bad things came and attacked the watchtower and broke it down. He fell into the midst of a bunch of enemies, and he pro- he fought and fought, but even being clad in steel armor and being a complete badass who's able to like kill 3 enemies in one turn is not enough to save you from endless swarms of zombies. But Lucas managed to fireball them all or something, and made an opening for Bort to get out and get to safety.
Cool. Yeah. So, go ahead and set your current hit points to 1. But take inspiration.
Oh boy.
Filstiger.
Yeah.
You fared better than you fared better than Bort. But you do take a nasty hit at some point. Take 46 plus 4 damage. And tell me how it happened.
All right. Let's see. Filster was like hanging off the top of a tree somewhere because he wanted to get like a better sort of bird's eye view of things he was shooting at,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like hooked onto the tree with the grappling hook off of the mechanical arm,
Mm-hmm.
and he was leaning out very far trying to like shoot eldritch blasts at a skeleton that was like standing behind a stump or something,
Mm-hmm.
because he was irritated that all the archers were wasting arrows, and he inadvertently activated like the reel in the arm, and it fell down, and he banged his head really bad on a rock.
All right. Cool. That sounds
and
like
then
that's
Flicker probably dragged him out of the water again.
that's cool. I like that. Go ahead and take inspiration.
Yes.
Ixa, you also take a fairly nasty blow. Also roll 46 plus 4 damage, same as Filsticker. Filsticker, did you get the plus 4?
Yeah, it took 18.
Okay.
That hurt.
Yeah. So how did that happen, Ixa? What happened to you?
Okay, so is it just like mindless undead attacking us like zombies and skeletons, or were there mixed in like some chieftains like we've seen before?
There's zombies, skeletons, a few reanimated crocodiles, and every so often, yes, a chieftain white.
Okay. I think the crocodile.
But those are few and far between.
Okay, well, yeah, I'll actually mix it up a little bit then. So during all this, I imagine Ix would probably be more interested in trying to make sure that all the defenders didn't get killed. So
Mhm.
putting herself at risk, trying to rush out and grab people who get knocked out or down or injured, or if anybody's up on the watchtowers get hurt, she tries to run back up there and help them before it's too late, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
So at some point, she sees like one of the chieftains coming and getting ready to attack a group of militia or direct some undead toward them. So she rushes out to try to get to them, but gets ambushed by one of the undead crocs first before she can get to them. So she has to fight that off and gets pretty badly mauled in the process.
Mm. That could have gone a lot worse, but yeah. Cool. You may also take inspiration.
Finally,
Kildrak, Lucas, each of you managed to avoid any serious harm. Go ahead and take a d6 plus 2 damage. But each of you perform some sort of heroic act during the siege. What did you do?
Well, Lucas was in cover upstairs of the inn, pressed in hard behind the wooden oak shutters. He'd been firing out of the inn window overlooking the docks into the zombie horde for a while when he spotted Bort in trouble and being surrounded, about to die. Quickly, he put together a plan. He called to Bort, "Bort, drop!" Bort looked left and right, figured out what was happening, and fell under the water surface as Lucas fireballed just high enough that the tip of the fireball wouldn't quite connect with the water surface. The zombies around him were scattered. A few were blown into nearby trees. One of them knocked off a branch. Bodies scattered, splashed hard into the water, smoldering. Bort heard them, saw them come down around them, got up. The air smelled of fire, dryness, and he ran back up to the dock, and presumably rejoined a high ground position.
Cool. Go ahead and take inspiration then, Lucas. And Kildrak, what? How did Kildrak show his valor?
I think that for most of the event, let's call it, he was more in the fray of it. Assuming that his companions could hold their own for the most part, he was focusing more on the militia members. You know, strumming off inspiring power ballads and throwing around heroisms and things of that nature. But I think that he saw a couple of the militiamen start to get overwhelmed a bit, and knew that he wouldn't have time to get to them physically. So instead, he decided to try a spell that he had heard tell of, that would basically shatter the air around the creatures that were attacking them, the zombies. So he just stopped, aimed carefully, mentally, and strummed on his axe a little bit, and just the whole area, the air, and just everything around the zombies that were attacking these two militiamen just suddenly cracked, and they all dropped.
Cool.
And saved the militiamen.
Cool. Yeah. So you go ahead and take inspiration as well.
Cool.
So through like the 2 days of constant skirmishing with the undead, you all distinguished yourself in some way to the villagers. And though it was physically grueling, the village itself remained safe. And the corpse pile, either defeated or indifferent. It's hard to read the feelings of a giant writhing mass of undead. Slowly moves its way southeast, and leaves the village behind.
Yeah.
And the constant stream of undead slows and then stops, and the swamp returns to normal.
I suppose we ought to stay an extra day just to be on the safe side in case it comes back. What do the rest of you think?
Kildrak just takes a big swig of an ale and sits down.
I would like to stay here for a while and get some rest. That's
That
all
sounds
right.
reasonable.
Oscar rubs his bandaged head and nods.
It's good. We'll guard the town another day.
All right. So I'm guessing you're taking a long rest then.
I mean, it looks like we probably should.
Yeah.
One question I meant to ask ages ago that I should, well, I'm thinking about it, finally ask. How much money did it cost Lucas to order a new hat?
You can spend literally any amount of money on a hat.
Alright, I will spend 5 gold pieces on a hat of the quality aforementioned.
Yes, that's a pretty nice. That's a pretty fancy ass hat for 5 gold.
It's probably got a giant white feather.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. So, you were not interrupted during your the next day. You were able to get a long rest in, so everyone can recover their hit points. During the time that you're resting, Eliwick comes to Philsticker. I'm guessing that was the corpse pile.
Yes. Yeah.
I've never seen anything quite like it.
Oh, it's been wandering around in loose circles in the middle of the swamp.
Yes, we just never got that close to it before. I feared it was going to roll over the village and kill us all.
Yes, it's pretty impressive, right?
Not the word I would use, but yes.
Well, it shouldn't happen. I believe the village is under a ward of sorts.
You believe?
Yes, I was yes, a powerful swamp spirit granted me a ward that I placed upon the area. It should be okay.
Well, it didn't keep the little ones out.
Well, those are right. Well, it makes more sense. You see, you place a ward for something big and horrible. Small things can get through. It's like throwing needles at a man wearing chainmail.
Hmm. I suppose that makes sense.
The ones we can kill on our own, we can kill on our own. It's normal.
Do you think it will come back?
Probably. Don't worry about it. We're going to we have a plan to deal with it. Our party is going to travel out to where we think it came from, and well, we're going to figure it out when we get there.
I see. Well, good luck, Philsticker. Come back.
Thank you. That's thank you. That's the intention.
Mhm. So, meanwhile, Kilardi finds Kildrak, and she says, that was quite a lot of excitement.
Well, unfortunately, it's not much more excitement than we normally run into in the swamp.
Is that so? I'm
Uh,
glad I haven't
Unfortunately.
gone any farther in than here, then.
I would not recommend doing so.
Mm,
It's not really worth it.
I've, I've, heard of boards of undead before, but nothing like that thing.
I think we've all grown used to it a little. No, it's strange. It's very abnormal. This is definitely the first one of its type that I've seen.
Mm.
What the hell? Shut up, Google. Sorry, my phone was talking at me. I don't know why.
Yeah, I, it, an army like that, it could have just rolled over the village. I don't know why it's, or what it wants, or why it left.
We're not really sure either. It just seems to go at random almost. We've encountered it in all sorts of places throughout the swamp.
Bizarre. I hope it doesn't return, but are you heading back out there again?
Yes, we have more business out there, unfortunately.
Business. I have to get back to mine as well. But you don't have to go back out there. You can come with me.
I mean,
Leave your friends for me, Kildrak.
I mean that's true, but I feel like I need to do this. We
I
need
mean,
to.
just saying the thing we're doing is kind of hopefully going to make the corpse pile not a problem.
Yeah, like unfortunately, if we don't go back out there, this problem could get much worse.
How can you possibly stop a thing like that? I don't think shooting your crossbow at it's going to slow it down at all.
Oh, probably not. But that's not. That's not the. That's not so much the plan. We found information that it should be feasible, at least. Should be possible for us to deal with the problem.
Mhm. Well,
I don't think it'll be easy, but I think it's worth doing.
well, if that's something that you can do, and if you have a plan, then good luck. I I really hope you succeed. Um, she holds Kildrak's hand and says, um, I do need to head out, but it can wait until morning."
Well, I do believe that we're here
Mhm.
for another day.
Then let's have one last drink together.
And he agrees.
Yes, and they go off and spend the night together. And yes, morning comes the next day. Ooh, it's raining.
That's the moment to our benefit because without Silas here, we need Ixa to navigate, ideally. Although, if we're allowed to use cartographer's tools to navigate by map, that would be just advantageous for fishing.
You can't use cartography tools to navigate by map, but having a map does give you advantage on the
Fair enough.
navigation roll. So, Kirlati can't help but comment on the inauspiciousness of the parting under heavy storms. But she gives Kildrak a very forward for a dwarf hug before she sets out on her wagon, heading northeast out of the village. Yes. And yeah. So what's the so somebody is
We have Ixa navigating today, and
Yes.
Lucas will fish.
yes. Okay. Ixa, roll perception for me. With a disadvantage because you're, okay, well, if you're gonna roll a 19 and a 20. Ixa, as you were leading the way, and navigating, you see illuminated through a flash of lightning, a corpse swaying from a tree, hung by the neck.
Is it in the way? The direction we're headed?
It's directly ahead of you, but I mean, it's not something you can't potentially go around.
Okay, well, obviously Ixa will point that out, and she recognizes it, of course, for what it is. Do we have any reason we would not want to avoid this?
Genocide, but otherwise, no.
How flammable were they? Could Lucas just well, I guess he could waste a fireball on it, but that would be a waste.
And like mundane fire will be extinguished pretty instantaneously by this by this downpour,
Yeah.
unless it's
mean,
like
if you-
you used oil or something. But
If you really want to deal with it, we can just hang back at like max range and start shooting at it. I don't recall it moving very quickly.
Did it move at all?
it could attack at range with its roots, but you know, you don't know how far its roots can reach.
Yeah, I'm inclined to just avoid it. I don't think it's worth our time and trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might be worth experimenting to see if we start blasting it from 120 feet out, can it fire back? And if not, we'll have found a quick way to deal with them.
Do we have any effective weapons at that range? I'm pretty sure
Yes.
javelins.
Firebolt will do the
Yeah,
trick.
and
And
Eldritch
Eldritch
Blasts. So we just start shooting at it?
If it's less than 100 meters, I can shoot with my crossbow without any penalty.
Our goal is to test if, at our longest ranged attack, it can attack back. Because if it can't, we can just narratively defeat these in future, just hanging at the edge of their range and lighting them up.
That's true. So
If
yeah,
it starts moving towards us, we'll need that crossbow. But otherwise, one of us should be able to do it. Like, if we take a 5-minute break and we just shoot it, like, 50 times, I think that we'll probably kill it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, Lucas, you start flinging firebolts at this thing, and the tree immediately begins to react. Roots shoot up from the water and begin like reaching around and trying to get at its opponents. The branches shake back and forth violently. The corpse hanging from it, flaps about in a macabre manner. But it seems that 120 feet are too far for the roots to reach, and like it takes a long time for you to do significant damage to the trunk, because it seems to have an arbitrarily high amount of hit points, as it were. It's not easy to kill a tree with, personnel weapons. But it being unable to fight back, you are eventually able to burn a hole through the trunk, and until its structure is weak enough that the tree falls over, and the roots give like one final flail before they all fall back under the water.
About how long did it take?
On the order of tens of minutes.
Well, it still isn't too bad. It might
Mhm.
not be worth stopping to clear out each one, but that's still useful knowledge for when we've got a lot more time. Just traveling around the swamp, it might be a good Samaritan thing to do.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you were able to make your way, and you arrive at that hex, and yes, and you set camp. Miasma, nobody dies of infection. And, yes. So the next day, the storm has passed, the swamp has returned to its normal swampy self. And what's the plan?
Well, it being clear, Lucas will have to navigate. What is everyone else's wisdom bonus, other than Ixa, who is busy? Sunlight.
1.
1.
Okay, then why don't we have Phil Sticker, Fish, because Kildrak and Bort are on front boats and are likely to have spot duty, I guess.
All right. He 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 tries using the grappling hook to fish.
Can borrow the fishing rod.
No, he needs to come back and tell Eliwick that he actually used it for something. That
All right.
didn't involve cracking his skull on a rock.
Okay. Kildrak and Bort, give me perception checks.
Oh boy.
Your DC is 14.
Oh boy.
Oh, hey.
Oh boy.
Okay, Bort. You see, lounging on a branch up ahead, a giant snake. Yeah. Its eyes are turned towards the party as you're making your way closer to it.
Hey, see that branch? It's not a branch.
Is that a fish?
Snake. And it's looking at us. I don't like the way it's looking at us. Maybe we should not.
Yes, alright. We
Oh.
should be able to turn here and then take a turn up ahead. In principle.
Getting around it should not really be an issue. I don't think it's going to go chasing after a large group of equal sized foods. Vilstiger, you rolled a 19 on your survival, so you get D6 plus your wisdom mod and food for the party.
Thank you.
So that's 3 food?
4.
4? Okay. So, yes. But, oh no, Lucas was doing the navigation, though.
Yep. We're beyond that, not having a ranger. We're down to having the wizard roll survival.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So you end up a little bit off track, but fortunately you ended up in a map text, so you know where you are. You ended up here instead. But you were double timing it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you may make one additional movement from that position.
Does the DC to navigate from the mushrooms lower like the rest of the flatlands?
No, it's still counted as the swampy land.
Then the ancient battlefield's probably not the best place to go either. I think I'm still going to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Okay. So, fortunately, you caught yourself before you were too far out of the way, and corrected, but you still potentially lost some time there. All right. And yeah, you make camp, and nobody gets sick and dies. The weather remains clear the next day, and that's where you are.
Oh. Same assignments, I guess.
Okay. Fortunately, you're going into that part of the swamp now. Bill Sticker 3 doesn't get you any fish. But okay. So as you enter into the marshland, and you spy some scumboggles. A handful of them playing on a nearby piece of land. And they see Filsticker among you. And they come running over.
Oh no.
Phil Sticker is
They have
sitting,
spears, but they don't appear to be hostile.
Phil Sticker, you are
Right,
sitting
right.
beside the candy and cheese.
I suppose that I am. Well, I don't know if they like candy. Hello. Take some cheese.
Aye. We've heard about
Aye.
you. You bring cheese.
Oh yes. Well, that's not all I do, but sure.
Grandfather
We-
likes
we
you.
Killed yes, and we
Yeah.
killed a red cap for some other scumboggles. We're not just cheese.
But cheese?
Just a second. Candy was cheaper than cheese, right?
Yes.
All right.
But do
Here's
the
some cheese, but
do the scumboggles like candy?
I have to
Well,
ask him.
We
Here's
can give
some
them one and
cheese,
let them
but-
try it, and if they don't like it, we can
Yeah,
still give them
here.
cheese.
Yeah, here. Try this candy and tell me if you like it.
It looks at the candy and it's like it doesn't quite know what it is. It's like this is food.
It's food.
Smells funny.
Well, candle thieves love it.
Mm. One of them pops it in its mouth and starts trying to chew on the hard candy with their sharp flesh tearing teeth. Which doesn't work very well.
Oh yeah.
And so he's trying to chew on it.
No, you just hold it in your mouth. You like rub it with your tongue until it goes away.
Meh.
If you try to chew it all, your teeth will fall out even faster.
It tastes weird. Mm.
All right, just give it to a candle thief later. He'll be your friend. Here's some more cheese.
Yes.
Thank you for your assistance.
he spits out the
He
candy.
gives an extra chunk of cheese to the one who tried the candy for him.
Yes, he spits out the candy and puts it into whatever rags they wear, if they wear anything at all, and takes a hunk.
He sticks it in his hair.
Yeah, he sticks it in his green seaweed hair, and scarfs down the cheese you give them.
Tell me, have you seen anything unusual in this area in the last day or so?
There are big bones to the big dead thing with big bones remaining to the southeast. He points,
Oh,
he
yes,
doesn't say
yes.
southeast, he points.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we killed that. Alright.
You killed
Thanks.
that?
Yes, we are horrifyingly dangerous. Filster looks very proud. It's false.
It believes you. And and they run off to play.
Very good.
Would you deduct the candy and cheese ledger, Sala?
There were 5 of them.
Very As soon as I figure out how.
I'll just do it then. We probably missed the last group as well by that count, so I'll just mark off an extra 5.
Okay. So, you make camp. Nobody dies of infection. Weather for the next day. Skies are clear. You're just a few hours away from the ruins of the Ur-Corpse.
Yep, I was muted. Sorry. Better hope for luck. Same assignments, I think. I would spend determination, but if we arrive at the Ur-Corpse today, I'm probably going to want it for some like snap arcana check that I'm not trained in or something. So I think Lucas is more determined to save the universe than to get there today. So
Mm-hmm.
which is why we didn't get there today. We might have made a quick pace, but it doesn't much matter.
Yeah. Well, you might have. I'm gonna roll to see where you end up. Let's see. Yes. So, once again, you do arrive in a map text. So you at least are able to make sense of where you are, but you've lost most of the day, heading in the wrong direction.
Did Phil Sticker catch any fish?
That's up to Phil Sticker.
I think I caught some fish.
What did you roll?
Oh, 17.
Okay, you caught, enough fish to feed 1d6 plus your wisdom mod people. Also,
5 people's fish.
also give me a wisdom save.
Okay. 19.
That's a really pretty ghost lady in the water. Oh shit, I shouldn't look at those.
I try to charm her too.
Okay. What's the save for that?
Probably a 13.
I meant the stat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wisdom saving throw.
She's not impressed.
Bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Filstiker snobbishly stares up in the air and refuses to look. And he announces out loud, "Drowning spirit."
Right. It's breakout camp for tonight. And, we'll move on in the morning.
All right. Nobody dies of infection. Weather the next day remains clear.
Not getting there today either. You know, it's every third time we'll get where we're trying to go.
And no fish, I think.
The forces of fate seem to conspire to send you towards Sally's house. But with your map, you're able to realize where you're headed. Yes. So, I very much need to go to the restroom. So we are going to take a 5-minute break now, and then we'll come back. Okay.
See you in a few.
Yes.
2 fish.
All right. So yes, we are going to go ahead and continue playing until you get to the corpse pile, which Lucas just roll a 20 there.
Food's marked off.
Yeah. So, yeah. So, yeah. So since we've lost Slag from power outage, yeah. So you approach the Ur corpse from this unexpected direction, which my map does not account for.
Maybe Matt's not recording.
I wasn't, but now I am. Shit. I was talking, but I was muted, so none of you guys didn't hear any of that I've just been saying for the past minute or so.
I hate when that
I wonder
happens.
if Matt's talking right now and we can't. Oh, okay.
Yes. Well, yes. Well, I at least caught our viewer up on the situation with Slag being gone for power outages, and that we are just going to continue on until you reach the Ur corpse, which is going to take like just a few moments. So leaving the direction from Sally's, you approach the Ur corpse from an unexpected direction, which my map does not actually account for. But you, as you come closer to the Ur corpse, you hear a human's voice from up ahead, where you know the entrances. You hear a boisterous male voice go, "Ha ha! Have at you!" And you hear the sounds of fighting. As the
Damn, someone's beating us to it.
as you enter the clearing where the monolith is, you see a man. You see a tall man in shining plate, with a great sword, and he's fighting a Stiltwalker, and there are a few dead Stiltwalkers around him. And as you see this confusing thing to see, he cuts down the Stiltwalker, and then he turns to face you, with a smiling face, and he waves and he says, "Hello there." And
hello.
And that's where we're gonna leave it for this session.
All right.
He's outshining us. Let's kill him.
I'll take his armor. I'll take his armor and strap the dragon scale to it.
All right. So, yeah. Unfortunately, since we would keep playing, but we're down like, 2 of our players. So we'll just make this a short session.
And they're kind of important ones too.
Yes.
I can't even believe we got here. I'm like looking at this right now. Like, how did we cross the map?
Well, it's all mapped. That makes it.
Preparation.
Yeah. It's
You know,
It's not like it was back in session 1. You guys know the swamp. You have mastered it.
I wouldn't go that far. Although we're certainly good at not getting in encounters.
Yeah, that's a big part of it as well.
Anyway, thank
That
you for
heat- that cheese
albeit
legend,
it was short. I'm still waiting for people to pitch character connections for the whatever I'm going to call it.
Retro's game.
I think I missed whatever that was because it happened at like 4 in the morning for me.
Well, you haven't missed it yet. If you want to pop over, I'll catch up to speed. But,
I mean, I'll take a look at it. So I'm gonna probably not be joining anything for a bit because unless something just really baffling happens, I will be starting a new job in about 2 weeks.
oh, nice.
My first real adult job in 3 years.
Cool.
So-
Holy shit.
What are
Yeah.
you doing?
It's IT support 2 Linux specialization for A&M,
Cool.
Texas A&M University here. So I forget that it's not literally an institution in other states. And by institution, I mean they literally run our state agriculture department.
Cool.
But yeah, so
Well, I hope that goes well for you.
yeah, I've done all the interviews. I've just gotta wait now for the offer to show up.
So,
That's,
Retro, your new game, it's going in the Monday night live game slot.
Maybe like every other Monday night, but
I understand that. Cool.
because I still have to run Dark Heresy, the game that I poached from our chat for my real life group because they don't like anything.
They sound terrible.
They're great, but
Yeah.
I hemorrhage a lot of games from people who decide they don't like them. I don't get it. To my mind, when someone runs you a game, it's like they've cooked you a meal. Unless there was something severely wrong with it, you don't say it was bad or anything like that. But these guys will be like, I wanted this, I wanted that. It's little things, nitpicky things. And then campaigns get derailed. And usually it's because one player wanted one thing that another player didn't want, and neither of them could get over it. I don't know.
I reiterate, they sound like terrible people. I'm sorry.
Fair enough. Well, I have a lot of high hopes that we'll have fun with this. I'm already starting to put together the backgrounds of an early levels plot or a mid levels plot. The first few levels will probably be fighting like goblins or something. Then we'll move on to some casual banditry and introduce some connections between things that are happening and start to forge like a mid-game plot. And then I don't know, when the mid-game's done, I'll come up with something else.
Cool. Awesome. Well, yeah, but this session is over. So, yeah.
Okay.
Catch you later.